let's stay with UNC. There's some other big news around campus today. I want to make sure I get everything right about this story, but there's the whole Silent Sam fiasco that's been going on for, a year or so.
Yeah.
The statue finally got toppled down this semester, and there's been a big battle. People want the statue removed because of the connection to slavery that it had. Some people want it to stay up right where it is, and the UNC I don't think had authority to move it themselves because it's a state property.
This talk about preservation of state monuments and stuff. So UNC really had no control over that. I mean, the whole building of the new, they're talking a building that basically a $5 million housing for this Silent Sam statue. But I mean, they don't really have, otherwise it's either put it up in the middle of everything or they could just put it in another building. But what's been suggested is that they put it in a $5 million building. And I don't think it's the smartest move, but also UNC's hands don't really have much wiggle room on this situation because they're legally required by the government to protect state monuments and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the crazy thing about it is the $5 million is what it's going to cost to build the building, but it's going to cost them $800,000 per year.
Yes.
I am assuming for security and upkeep of the building and the statue and whatever mess that is associated with Silent Sam that has sort of been happening this year. I think it's a bad move from the university in the sense if it was a perfect world, that's a lot of money. $1 million per year plus the $5 million. How many scholarships could that turn into per year? That's, because you save, $25,000 a year per person for, you're talking about 40 scholarships about per year that you could be given if you didn't spend it on that statue. Plus the $5 million, so that's 200 from the outset, which is pretty big. But the part that we don't know is there's going to be a lot of trustees, a lot of people who donate a lot of money to the university, and I would imagine that the money that would not be donated if the statue did not remain on campus would be a lot more than $5 million. It would be a lot more than the $800,000 per year, and that's the stuff we don't know from the university, but I would imagine that's what made it, an enticing deal for the university if they say we can just wipe the situation clean, we give away $5 million, that's nothing. They just paid Larry Flora $12 million to go away, so I think they'll pay $5 million to say goodbye to this whole Silent Sam issue that's been going on. I mean, there's a girl who's, was been in court recently.
For rubbing her blood on the statue.
Yeah.
That's a little far, but...
Yeah.
I mean, this situation, it's just... one side feels like they're on a righteous journey, and I definitely agree that the statue is distasteful. It's definitely not a good sign for an American university to have. But in this sort of situation, they're blaming the university when really the university doesn't really have too much of an option at this point in time because, they're pretty restricted in what they can do with the statue. If anything, they should be protesting towards the government, but that's something more politics related.
Another interesting thing I'm reading is the building will have the opportunity to have classes in it, and I don't understand that because that's just going to create another issue down the line. You're 100% going to have students that...
I imagine the building isn't going to be something glorifying.
No, it's not going to be like, hey, where's your class? Oh, Silent Sam, auditorium. But I think you don't think there's going to be someone that's going to say, oh, I'm not taking a class in this building that was built because of Silent Sam. That's going to happen.
I definitely agree that could happen.
It would. I think I would be shocked if that did not happen.
It would definitely happen.
If there are classes, I would just. Why do they have classes in that building? Can't they just put I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want this.
I mean,
to be
I
over.
preferably would like them to just put the statue somewhere. Maybe, like, I talked about this with some friends earlier, like maybe in the African American Studies building, just to like kind of be like a spat, kind of like a fuck you to the Silent Sam, just be like kind of like a conquering of it. But I mean, if they were to do something like that for the building, I mean, UNC probably needs new buildings anyways. I mean, have you looked at Phillips Hall? I feel like if it wasn't solely for the purpose of Silent Sam, it would make it better. But I mean, I just kind of wish this fucking statue business was behind everyone.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's what will happen with this. I mean, if it's, I think that's what the university's thinking is yeah, like they're gonna take a little bit of a hit right now, just with the press. So you paid $5 million to house this statue, but that in a month, hopefully no one will be talking about that. And the university, obviously, if they can pay $5 million to make this national issue go away, I mean, it's getting a lot of national attention. It's been in the New York Times. It's been on NBC News. It's been everywhere. So I think the university will be happy to remove themselves from this issue. And if that is only $5 million, and knowing that, that probably doesn't matter that much to them for the fact that there's going to be a donor. The donors that they would lose if they screwed up this situation, if they didn't play both sides, then they would lose a lot more than that $5 million. So you have to understand, I think, where the university is coming from.